Imagine standing in the middle of a barren, pitch-black expanse, only to crest a sand dune and find the earth itself roaring with unyielding fire. We are in the Karakum Desert in Turkmenistan, staring down into the Darvaza Gas Crater, spanning over 200 feet wide and plunging nearly 100 feet straight down into the crust. This crater is an active, open-air lake of fire that never goes out. For decades, the local nomadic tribes who live out here completely avoided the burning pit, passing down stories that it was a literal, active portal to the underworld. They called it the door to hell. Today, however, the area is flooded with planetary geologists and scientists, heavily studying the glowing abyss to understand its exact chemistry. This portal is the consequence of human error, an accidental ignition of the Earth that demands a forensic autopsy. To find out how a flat desert floor turned into a permanent furnace, we have to jump back to 1971. The Soviet Union was aggressively surveying the region, looking to tap into massive new underground energy reserves. Engineers identified this specific zone in the Karakum as a prime location. They brought in heavy industrial drilling rigs and set up a full campsite, assuming they were sitting on solid, stable rock. But the geology below them was highly fragile. The heavy machinery was parked directly over the thin roof of a massive, highly pressurized natural gas cavern. As the drill pierced the rock, the structural integrity of the roof gave way. The ground completely caved in, swallowing the drill rig, the equipment, and the campsite into a massive sinkhole. Highly toxic, high-pressure methane gas immediately began rushing out of the new crater. Fearing this gas would drift and suffocate the nearby desert villages, the scientists made a calculated decision. They threw a flare into the pit to burn the methane off. They estimated the fuel would run dry and the fire would burn itself out in a few weeks. Instead, the flames they lit that day have been burning out of control for over half a century. The reason the crater cannot burn itself out lies hidden deep inside the surrounding geology. The Karakum Desert sits directly on top of one of the most immense, vast natural gas basins on the planet. This deep earth cross-section illustrates the mechanics of the disaster. The force of the collapse shattered the surrounding limestone, creating a network of vertical fractures that connect the floor of the crater directly to pressurized gas reservoirs miles beneath the surface. Methane is exceptionally light. It constantly forces its way upward through these porous limestone cracks. The exact millisecond that pressurized methane hits the surface oxygen inside the pit, it combusts, fueling thousands of individual roaring fires along the walls. The scientists accidentally built a perfect self-replenishing natural gas engine. The pressure from the earth acts as a permanent pump, feeding an open-air furnace that humans no longer control. The temperatures at the bottom of the crater regularly cross 400 degrees Celsius, and the local atmosphere is utterly choked with toxic gas. For decades, the scientific consensus was that absolutely nothing could survive inside. Then, in 2014, an extreme explorer built a heat-resistant rig, descended directly into the center of the flames, and scooped up several raw soil samples from the burning floor. When astrobiologists examined that dirt under a microscope, they found a thriving, highly specialized biological ecosystem existing entirely inside the flames. Fascinated, deep inside the boiling dirt, completely unique species of extreme bacteria were rapidly multiplying. They don't use oxygen. Instead, these microbes have adopted to actively consume the ambient methane gas, using the toxic emissions to survive the extreme heat. This discovery expands the biological map for astrobiology. It proves that living cells can survive and even thrive on the highly gas-saturated volcanic planets found throughout the universe. But zooming back out to the surface level, this astrobiological wonder remains a massive environmental and economic scar on the region. Every single day, millions of cubic feet of highly valuable energy resources burn off into nothing. The continuous reaction vents heavy greenhouse gases straight into the atmosphere, slowly damaging the wider desert ecosystem. Recognizing the waste, the government has launched multiple aggressive initiatives to finally plug the hole and extinguish the crater. But as this model demonstrates, shutting the door to hell is a logistical nightmare. If engineers simply dump sand or concrete into the crater to smother the flames, the deep earth gas pressure doesn't stop. It just rapidly builds up, searches for a new path of least resistance through the soft limestone, and forcefully blasts completely new fire vents through the surrounding desert floor. Humans provided the initial spark, but the resulting pressure system now operates beyond the current limits of engineering containment. The Darvaza Gas Crater stands as a permanent blazing monument to what happens when our industrial ambitions accidentally trigger the raw, untamed forces of the Earth. The crater serves as physical evidence of the planet's volatile, hidden chemistry, a door that has remained open for over 50 years. What do you find more frightening about the door to hell? The careless initial engineering mistake that collapsed the Earth, or the fact that nature hijacked the fire and kept it burning for 50 years? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Earth's extreme anomalies, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another solo documentary. Thank you for listening. Stay curious about our incredible planet, and I will see you in the next video.